There you
Are we live?
go. Yeah.
I think we're live. Hey! How y'all doing? How you like this shit? Boy, howdy, we are streaming right now on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. I did not know we could do that. Thank you, Travis, very much. My son here is doing our technical stuff here, and he figured out how to do all that stuff, and I am just tickled to death. This is it's going to be a new thing for me. My rants will continue on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. We are going to try to make Tuesdays and Thursdays family meeting time to where we get to reach out and connect with the Blue Dot family and get to know each other a little bit better and talk things out. Wherever the conversation goes, that's fine with me. Tonight, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to have the video for our two guests tonight. Our broadband, we have the low service on our service, and we need more bandwidth, I guess, is what they keep telling me. And if we try to get too many videos on, too much video on here, we have a tendency to lose our signal out here. So we're working on that. And but tonight, I want to introduce you both to Keith Thompson, and now I'm going to mess this last name up. Deborah Gerlach. Is that right, Deborah?
Yeah. There you go.
Deborah Gerlach, and you are in Delaware?
Lower Delaware.
Lower Delaware. And Keith,
Lower.
the lower part of Delaware, huh? Is there? That's not too far from the northern part, is it? I'm just kidding. That's a slight. I should have said that.
That's a couple hours. We only have 3.
Okay, I broke up a little bit there. Our other guest tonight is Keith Thompson. Keith, you're up near Chicago, aren't you? Hello, Keith.
No.
Uh-oh, I'm not getting any video. Any audio.
Hang on. Yeah, we're just.
Nope.
I can hear him.
Yeah, I just heard Deborah there.
Okay, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Oh, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I am sorry. For some reason, I had Chicago and Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah,
Is it cold up there?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
12 inches of snow
12 inches.
and more coming.
And more coming. No.
12 degrees.
That's where I really fall out. I love the snow. I took my kids to go see it in where were we?
We were in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque or
I bel-
Reynosa? Reynosa.
Well, oh wait, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Right.
Reynosa, New Mexico. We had gone to Roswell, New Mexico to go see where the aliens landed, and then we ended up going over to see some snow. So I'm not as well insulated as y'all are up there. Y'all are used to that stuff.
I
Yeah,
probably have your
I
state.
moved here so I wouldn't have to shovel it.
And somebody else can shovel it, huh?
Yeah, and then 4 years after I got here, it snowed and I couldn't find the damn car.
It snowed enough to where you can't find. You got problems if it snows and you can't find your car.
It's
That's.
a big ass caddy.
I'd have to admit, I would be just a wimp in the snow. Here is my dilemma with driving in ice and snow. I was duty bus driver in the Navy in Adak, Alaska. There was a community up at the top of the hill that you had to go up there and pick up people up at the top of the hill and bring them back down the hill. There were no guardrails. This mountain is just like, I don't know, looked like Everest to me when I was on it. And the whole way down that mountain, driving that bus with them people in it, I was scared to death, I'll tell you. So that kind of cured me from wanting to drive in the snow.
Well, I used to, when I lived on the Hudson River and my caddy was new because it was an 89, I would leave it at the train station and the police station was right there. And I would tell the cops, I'm leaving the commissioner's car here because it was dark gray. We called it the commissioner's car. And the cops started calling it. And I'm just bundled up and I'd walk the mile up the mountain to my apartment.
Oh, Lord. That's quite a trick.
Well, because the idiots couldn't get up the hill. It's like, I'm not I'm not doing this.
I
I'm not
don't.
getting.
I see those videos on YouTube they always have the compilation of people trying to drive, and they show them come sliding down a hill and they can't stop or anything. They add music to it and stuff like that. It's,
Take your foot off the brake.
yeah.
You know, slamming on the brake does nothing except make you slide more.
Just make it go a little faster. So,
Well, here in Minnesota, we have 4 lanes going either way, and you can just see people dropping off to the side, sliding off. And I drive a 4-wheel drive vehicle, anti-lock, tracking, all that happy stuff. I'm sliding around like a pancake.
oh no. Oh no. So, yeah, I'd just be puckered up. I would driving on that stuff all the time.
Yeah, we got to drive on the new snow. You don't follow the tracks because that's ice. You follow the new snow. You get off the track to the side a little bit. You drive on the snow, so that's not melted from the tires, and you're better off.
Yep.
I did not know that. Now, see, if I was up there driving in that stuff, I would have figured I'm going to get in the ruts of the old boy that went in front of me, and that'd be wrong. The things you learn, see, I don't know. Y'all come down here, I'll teach y'all how to drive on the beach down here.
I used to drive my Mustang in the snow, and I never spun out once. Well, once on purpose.
Well,
on the
yeah, that don't
expressway.
count. On purpose, you
Let's
just
do a
trying to be-
360.
Yeah, there you go. Donuts, ain't that what they call it?
One thing you learn here in Minnesota, and especially with things they are a rear-wheel drive vehicle. I have a 95 town car.
I'm losing. Could you
And
hear
it's
me?
still unstable.
Trying to get our connection back.
I'm
yeah,
having a
we're
little bit
dipping
of
in the red.
trouble with your connection, Keith.
No, it's our connection.
Our connection. I'm sure it's our connection.
Okay.
A 9-passenger wagon, I could go through anything with that.
Yeah, station wagon. Oh,
Oh,
van.
yeah.
What year?
It was an 82.
82. Okay. That was a tank.
Yeah, that's back when they had iron on them things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that no more. As a matter of fact, my son's girlfriend Rose just hit a deer recently. Well, that was about 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah, about 3 weeks or so.
Hoping to get the car back tomorrow. And I mean, when it just took out the whole front section of the car, it was just all plastic pieces laying all over the place. Now back in them old back when I started learning how to drive, that bumper was made out of iron, buddy. It was solid.
Oh, people get scared when I drive, besides the van, I have my 89 Caddy, the land yacht size.
The
You
land.
can build a car there. And they just see that old thing coming and they're like, I'm taking my plastic car out of the way. Thank you.
There you go. Well, Leanne Scott, I see you're here. Leanne's down in Australia. I just noticed her comment. Hello, Leanne. We have got a large family, and there ain't no telling where just how far our voice is going tonight. Hope Yancey, Bill Jones, and Ed Weber. Like to call people out when they come on and let them know that we appreciate them tuning in and whatnot. I am trying to get this whole thing going because I really like this idea of reaching out and talking to people.
This is fun. I'm going to have this all the way across the United States when I finally get these people to take this thing out of my chest so I can leave.
Oh, what do you got in your chest? Oh, Lord. One of them
It's
ports?
it's a port and goes into the vein in my neck, and it's like I'm afraid to pick anything up.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
That don't
What?
sound good. You recently, you went through some cancer, though, didn't you, just recently?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what that is, the chemo?
Yeah, I went and bought a bunch of new pajamas. It was the summertime, and every Monday I know I'm going to be 4 hours in a Barco lounger. So I would wear pajamas. I'd go to the cancer center and wear pajamas, and everybody'd say, "Oh, here she comes again."
Might as well be comfortable. You're not going to move for a while. Well, darling, I'm just so tickled to death you're doing all right. You know,
I
cancer's a
got
big scare for anybody.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and I named the bags. Like one was Dirty Martini, one was Jose Cuervo, and the
Oh,
brown one that was Jack Daniels.
there you go. Got a little
I
mix of
couldn't do
cocktail.
anything. I couldn't drink. It was terrible.
Ah, you can't drink when you're having that chemo?
Actually, I didn't feel like having anything to drink. It
Yeah.
was
Oh, I
terrible. It was
bet
the
not,
worst
really.
summer ever.
Oh, howdy.
Mm.
Well, I've been through some stuff, but I ain't been through that yet. Knock on wood. I don't want to. I know quite of our blue dots have. Travis is distracting me with something on the computer there. I can't
Sorry.
look at that. Ah!
You took my TV, so I'm like
I
trying
took,
to
I took his
monitor
TV.
everything
The only
here.
way we have one monitor between us, so we have to turn it sideways. And the last time I was on here talking to Leo Sahaki and Andy Paguda, I noticed when I watched the video, I spent the whole time with my face like this to the camera, looking at the screen over here. So we decided to put it over here, so at least I'd be facing the camera. I really want to get our internet service upgraded so we won't have any trouble, because I really want to get the videos in here. That's the whole idea, that I wanted to start making more connections with our Blue Dot families members. So well, did you all see Donnie in El Paso last
Oh God.
night? I was going over some of his comments there and whatnot. But one that really kind of torqued me off again, because I just mentioned him, I think it was yesterday during my rant, was Donnie Jr., his little comment. He's just like his daddy. He's just a
That
little,
bullshit. Oh,
you just want to, well,
Right
that's,
here.
he's growing a beard, trying to be a real boy now.
is that what he's doing? I thought he's trying to hide, just like Ted Cruz, grow a beard so nobody will recognize his ass when he goes somewhere.
Is that a thing with those idiots now? It's so sad. Oh, what a cute puppy.
Oh, Keith got a dog. Now, see, that's
What
not
a
fair. I can't see. That ain't no. We got to get this fixed. We got to get more room on our internet, I guess. Damn, that just gets me mad, because the other day we had some problems with Leo and Andy. And
Well, I saw that. I saw that video. That
how'd
was
you
good.
like that?
That was good.
I thought so. I had a lot of fun with it. We are. I'm sorry. I'm looking at that screen again over there. He's doing stuff. Anyway,
How come I can't see you, John?
what Donnie Jr. said, when he came out there, he said that he was there visiting from the People's Republic of New York. That's where he said.
Oh, People's Republic of New York. New
Yeah,
York.
that's what he calls it. The People's Republic of New York. I guess he's insinuating that it's a socialist nation, I guess. I don't know.
No, we're going to kick his ass. Let me tell you. We can't wait to say, welcome to New York, Donnie. We got
Donnie
you
boy.
now.
He needs to get his ass back up to his Trump tower. I don't,
I can see terrorists in New Jersey. You can't see shit in New Jersey.
Well, he said he came down to experience some freedom down here in Texas, because they ain't got that up there in Texas. I'm up in New York. They don't have it.
Oh, we have plenty of freedom, just not for him.
Not for, he's going to find himself in a pair of handcuffs, I hope, pretty soon.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, Donnie Jr., I keep hearing their conversation. His quote is, "The left hates Trump more than they love America. And my father vowed America would never be a socialist country." They're pushing that word socialist because it scares their little minions. They're really trying to convince everybody that that's what we're after. We're going to become communist socialist or something, and they don't. It's because they don't understand the concept of what being a social democracy is.
Yeah, because that was USSR, United Soviet Socialists. Republic.
Yeah, Republic, yeah. That's where they cut, and that's where the Republicans try to take it. I mean, that's where they try to associate it with, because any ideas that are for the people, well, that's what they're trying to do. You know, when we talk about health care for everybody, or if we talk about college tuition, and that's what they start screaming, oh, socialist ideas. Yeah, I'd like a little of that, a little more of that, because we already have some. That's what we have Social Security for, stuff like that. But you know, I just noticed in the game that they were playing this evening and everything else, they're really pushing that theme, the socialism, you know, the radical left, the demonic Democrats, whatever, you know, they're coming up with all sorts of shit, and their little followers are just eating that shit up because they don't care. They don't have to fact check anything.
No, I have friends who don't fact check anything, and I'm like, just I can't even talk to you. Don't even talk to me until you turn off Fox News and your IQ raises up a few points.
Now, ain't it the truth? You can tell immediately where they're getting their news when you get in a conversation with some of these Trumpers, which I just did just the other night, and you can just hear it coming out of their mouth. And then when you challenge on them, they always say, "Oh no, I don't watch Fox News." Are you shitting me? Yes, you do. You're just about quoting Sean Hannity. Are you? It's stupid.
It's like, Obama didn't do anything. I'm like, don't worry, your boy Donnie is canceling that.
Yeah. So.
I need some booze.
These Republicans broadcast what they are going to do. They start blaming the left.
Oh, that's their whole game.
Is going to do that. And
That's us. Don't. It's the signal dipping. 1 second. There we go. We're back in the green.
Are you there, Keith? I'm sorry, buddy. I lost you again.
yeah, I was just saying that when Republicans start blaming and pointing fingers at someone is because it is exactly what they are going or want.
That's true. Everything that the Republicans are pointing their finger at is what they're guilty of.
Yes, exactly.
You know, that's been Donnie's motto, I think, ever since he was born, I guess. You know, he screams about things that he's doing like other people are doing it, you know, and that's the way he has been ever. Dennis Valadez, how you doing, buddy? I just want to shout out, buddy. He's out there. We were going to try to pull Dennis into this evening, but he wasn't home when I tried to call him. Yeah, it's that's their whole game plan. I don't know. I've gotten so damn disgusted with them lately because it's you know, like I was speaking of yesterday. They don't care if you think they're racist. They don't care if you think they're bigoted or anything else. It's fine with them. They're okay with that title. You know, it just doesn't seem to faze them one bit.
They must have bust in all those people to El Paso, because El Paso just like, what?
I think they did. They had to, because El Paso's a Democratic stronghold. That's a blue city, baby. Just like most of the cities in Texas, they're blue. Austin, our state capital, is the bluest city in Texas. Austin, Houston, San Antonio, they're all blue. You know, we just have an awful lot of rural area out here. You know,
and crowd size.
Yes. Except for San Antonio, Dennis could tell you they have a wall around San Antonio. That's what Donnie said. Idiot.
So stupid.
As a matter of fact, last night at his little rally, he started out, his numbers changed through the night. He started out saying that he had 8,000, or no, I'm sorry, he said that the arena holds 8,000 people. But thanks to the fire department, they crammed in 10,000 people into that stadium last night, into that arena.
Oh.
And that's a bunch of bullshit because the fire department said that there were 6,500 people inside that auditorium to go see Donnie. But and Donnie was saying that he had tens of thousands outside watching on the big screen. The fire
Where?
department again said there was 3,500 estimated outside. So you put that together, he's got about 10,000 people. But at the end of he was saying that they had 35,000 people. You know, this guy will lie at the drop of a hat, just at
Well,
the
those
slightest
little
little
much.
breeze.
It's all about size.
Who are the assholes that listen to him?
They do. They believe him. You know, he was out there trying to egg Beto O'Rourke. He's, I think Beto O'Rourke has 200 or 300 people over at his rally. Are you shitting me? Like we ain't got a TV. Like the news is not covering that. You know, it's pitiful.
Cover it.
Yes. Yes, but they had the whole thing last night. The fake news, the build the wall, even to lock her up. Are you kidding?
Well, more importantly, what about the BBC camera person
No
getting attacked?
shit. Did y'all see that?
Oh yeah, I saw that today.
I did see that.
That is what a Trump rally is, and that's what he incites. That's what he brings out in people. That's what he likes to bring out in those people. He wants
They
to
should
incite
the
them.
big. They should leave the big cameras home and then just with their phones, all the news people, and saying we're getting to we're going to download all these things, and so he doesn't see any big cameras there. That'll
Yeah.
piss him off.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing that would make him more mad is if the cameras weren't there.
Where's
But you
the
know
big
the media honestly will never allow that to happen because they, like, let's be honest here. They're getting views from all of his rallies and stuff. It gets them people to
gets
watch
ratings.
them.
It
Even
gets
if it's more liberal-leaning media outlets, it's still the same. The best thing they could do is just stop filming the rallies.
Yeah, well, now I noticed that they did not cover the full rally like they used to during the...
No, they didn't, and that was good. That was
Yeah,
really good.
that was good that they didn't cover the whole rally. I
Or
didn't
watch
want to listen to it.
cockroaches.
What's that, Keith?
Or watch the cockroaches.
Yeah, or watch the cockroaches. That's exactly what I call them because that's what their party is just melted down to, in my opinion. Just how much lower on the morality scale do you have to go to be a Republican nowadays? You've turned your back on just about every value you ever espoused to claim to have about this country and everything else in their lives. And they threw it all in the ditch, in my opinion, to follow the golden idol of Donnie. And they're hell-bent on hanging on to him, these little cockroaches and their little minions and stuff. You're not going to shake them loose from Donnie.
They're all out from outside New York. They didn't know anything. Oh, he's successful. He's never been a billionaire. He was on the brink of personal bankruptcy in the 90s. He's an asshole. So they didn't really know who he was. Oh, he's successful. No.
No. As a matter of fact, I remember watching him a long time ago. I saw him on the night that he was on the guy on the radio up in New York City. I got the name of it.
Oh, Imus. Don Imus.
No, not
Howard
him.
Stern?
Huh?
Oh,
Howard
that's
Stern?
the
Howard
other
Stern.
one.
I'm sorry, Howard Stern show. When Donnie was on the Howard Stern show, and Howard was egging him on about how Ivanka looked and what he thought of Ivanka, and he egged Donnie into saying that yes, that Ivanka is a nice looking piece of ass, and that's his daughter that he's talking about, and he had no problem saying that.
Yeah, somebody posted that the other day. I listened to it. I said, "Yeah, I remember
Yes.
that piece of scum."
Yes, he used to go on there, and back in those days, he was just trying to get publicity any way he could. And it wasn't nothing for him to say something outrageous. It just, because in Donnie's mind, you always got to remember, whether it's good news or bad news, it doesn't matter. If you're talking about Donnie, he loves it,
Yeah,
So.
put out a 5-page ad about killing 5 young black men when nothing
Yes.
was proven.
Yes, the Central Park
It was in
5.
4 major New York newspapers.
Yeah.
He still thinks they're guilty. He took an ad
Yes.
out in every major newspaper in New York. I remember that, and it was disgusting. And they spent years in jail until DNA proved they were innocent.
I see a comment here by Terry Martin. It says, "Look where it just went away."
Hang on, let me try to bring it back for you.
It just crap.
Who was it?
Yeah, it was.
Terry Martin?
Yeah, look at what we've become. Lead in the water, corruption and criminals in government, and 37% of our people don't care. And that's the key sentence right there. I wanted to key in there. Thank you, buddy, for writing that in there because that's true. That's what we're looking at. The 37% that he's just talking about there, those are his base. We're not going to shake those people. Those are the deplorables in my book. You know, they're proud to be a racist. They're proud to be bigoted. They're proud to be ignorant. You know, I got a friend of mine that I've known for years. We retired from the same Army depot. His name, well.
No. You don't do that.
But he's stupid. Well, I could say Tony. If Tony's listening, I don't care.
Well, okay, that's fair enough.
Tony's an idiot. Tony watches nothing but Fox News. And the last time he was over at my house, we were discussing things, and he's got this little sign on his little motorbike. Not a motorcycle. We're talking about a little, a very small single cycle.
There's little stickers like Grandma and Grandpa drive around.
Right. He's got Bikers for Trump sign on there. Just kills me. Are you shitting me? Bikers for Trump. But he was over here, and I was asking him about, well, what do you? It was when Donnie tweeted out about jobs for China and ZTE and all that stuff, and it was right after the Chinese invested $500 million in a Trump property down in Indonesia. And I asked him, I said, now doesn't that sound like he's just selling our nation out? Well, I didn't hear that. Well, of course you didn't hear that. You're watching Fox News. I'm sure they were caught, had a car chase going on or something that they could go to on Fox News on that when that came out.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he fits what would be known as the majority. An old, grumpy, white guy.
Are you talking about me?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Look at your skin color. You're dark.
Hey.
But no, like, think about it. Like, even before all of this shit took place, he was just a very grumpy asshole. And that's...
Well, he always
okay,
has
it's
been.
not the majority... I mean, well...
Well, I used to think he was so Who are you talking about? Tony?
Tony, yeah.
Oh, Tony.
Yeah.
Well, before he became a total idiot, he was a nice guy. And we used to work together. And
you can have your opinion on that. I've always thought he was an asshole.
Travis doesn't agree with that opinion.
No,
that's one of the things, though. We used to be able to get along with the Republican. This used to not be a big thing in our country. You know, if your neighbor was a Republican, well, you just knew he was an idiot. It didn't cause no trouble. But now it's gone to a different level. You know, what we've seen, in our society nowadays is not good. Hey, what's all this stuff right there?
That's the chat on the stream so people can see their comments.
Oh, okay.
But, you bring up an interesting point saying that, because one thing I used to love, especially way early on, was getting in debates. Debates actually used to be fun because we talked about policies and...
Debates where I worked?
Huh?
Where?
No, I used to like getting into debates with people.
Oh, a debate. I'm
like
sorry.
an actual legit debate on the issues.
Yeah.
But nowadays... it's really hard to find a good debate because either everybody's so stuck to their guns that they don't listen to reason, or we're talking about basic human rights at this point. We're not talking about politics in some of these cases.
No, yeah.
If I were to go talk to somebody about what's going on the border, I don't believe it to be an easy argument of a difference of opinion. It's either believe kids should be in cages or not.
Yeah.
And in other words, you're either an asshole or you're not.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dangerous to get into debates nowadays because it ain't going to lead to anything good because no one's willing to budge to even think of what is the right thing to do. They're going to look at everything negative that they say on the media of, oh, these are, rapist murderers coming across, therefore their kids are going to, I don't know, they're tied into the same shit apparently. Otherwise, why would we put them in cages?
Yeah, Donnie already said that they're going to grow up to be an MS-13.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they're all MS-13, every one of them.
Yeah, that's a better summary.
Everybody coming across
that was actually what I was trying to think of.
What policies do the Dems have to put forward, buddy? I'll tell you exactly what the Dems have to put forward. Everything, from health care to child development, to education. Are you shitting me? You know, there's plenty that the Democrats have to offer. I can't for the life of me get over what, the Obamacare, repeal and replace. We've got to get rid of Obamacare. It's bad. It's bad. Are you shitting me? You know, it was pre-existing conditions. How can you say, oh, we do? But they'll grab hold of that one. Oh, we like that one. Well, what else don't you like? You know, you idiot. These people, I don't know. You know, it just pisses me off when they want to fight against something that would better our society as a whole. I'm sorry, I got off on a rant there. I just seen that.
Before the Affordable Care Act, I was paying $500 a month and my husband died. I had to pay for my own insurance. I was paying $500 a month, and Obama came along, and I was paying less than $200 because my insurance went up to about $1,000 a month. You can't pay that on Social Security.
No, you can't do that.
Hey, wait, to plug this in. My battery's running.
But that's a good point, though. See, and it's great to hear stories that are the positives that came out of Obamacare, because they like to scream and yell, oh, it didn't help anybody. That's bullshit. We know so many people that it helped.
You know what gets me about their attitude towards the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare? It was a Republican plan. It was a Republican plan before Obama put his name on it, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, we can't have it. It's witch doctor. It's every disgusting kind of thing they ever came out and said about it, and it's ignorance. It is pure ignorance. It is a great program. It needs some tweaking, and they just can't wait to tear it apart, all for one reason, and I believe that is because of Obama's name on it, and that is where this little 37%, these are the disgusting people that hated Obama because he was a black man in our house. That's what pissed them off. They transferred that hate straight over to Hillary, and they will vote for the evilest demon in hell, as they proved voting for this idiot, to spite anybody on this side of the fence, and they continue to do that.
Hillary was going to tweak it. She said, leave it, but fix the
There are things that we could, when they took away the mandate that everybody had to have insurance. They said, oh, that's not freedom. You can't demand everybody. Well, have you bought a car lately? I don't know what y'all state law says, but here in Texas, you better have insurance, because if you don't have insurance, they'll tow your car away. And when you get insurance, well, you can go down to the lot down there and pay several $100s worth of fines and everything else to get your car back. So yeah, they can mandate that people buy insurance, and I don't see a problem with that if you could afford insurance. I have to pay insurance. A lot of I'm retired civil service. I worked for the government for 23 years, and people say, well, the government employees, they get all. No, I got to pay for my shit just like everybody else does. And I get a group rate and maybe a little bit better rate, but I have Blue Cross Blue Shield just like everybody else does, if you can afford insurance. The problem is the number of people that can't afford insurance is growing in this country.
And why is that? Because of the rules Republicans keep putting in front of people to restrict them from health care?
Yes.
Well, like I always say, we don't have health care. We have profit care, baby. We got to protect the big money. That's where it's all at. Who was that the other day? I can't even remember what politician it was the other day was saying, oh, well, we can't do away with health insurance companies. Are you shitting me? Well, what would all them people do for a job? Go to work for Medicare. They're going to need a lot more people, I guess. If we give Medicare for everybody, they're going to have to increase the workforce because there'll be a lot more work to do. So you could just mosey your butt right over there and get a job over there. Maybe. I don't know all the answers to that. I just do know that every nation, every country in the Western world has health care as a right for their citizens, and we keep being told we can't do that here. Oh, you just can't do that. It's not feasible. You can't. Well, they're doing it everywhere else.
but the CEO of United Healthcare here in Minnesota will walk out with a bonus of $93 million.
Bingo. Right there. That's exactly it. That's how come your health care costs so much. That's how come your pills cost so much. That's how come everything costs so much. Because the CEO of those companies have to walk away with millions of dollars a year, hundreds of millions of dollars a year in wages and compensation. Are you shitting me?
When I worked for Equitable, they had, you know, what the bonuses and stuff. My boss was from Taiwan, and he was a tough ass guy. But he came, I thought he was gonna cry in my office. He came in my office and saying, "Do you see? I can't give decent raises to my people because you see what the big guys are giving themselves bonuses." He was almost in tears, and he was a tough ass Taiwanese army.
Who ever heard of a golden parachute? What is that shit? Oh well, you know, if you really screw up, we have to fire your ass. Well, we're going to give you a whole boatload of money. You know, it's a rigged system. You talk about a rigged system, and it is. It's rigged for the wealthy. You know, they cry all the time about the death tax, the inheritance tax. Yeah, that's only if you go over the first 10 million. And if you got to leave your kid more than $10 million or he won't make it like Donnie, well, then there's a problem with your kid. You know, if they can't make it on 10 million.
They can't buy another yacht. Damn it.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, Betsy DeVos, she's limited to 8, or I think she only has 7 or 8 yachts right now. I'm sure she's working on another one.
I hate that woman. I want to punch her face.
And nobody, you know, it is the American dream that you can come here and that you can make it in the world, and that you can be the upper crust if you work hard. That I don't have a problem with that. But when you start getting into the billions of dollars, I don't know what you're spending it on. You're wiping your ass with gold-plated toilet paper. I don't know. But what the Republicans all call the good old days, you know, back in the good old days, make America great again. Well, America never was to the degree that we become the nation that we're supposed to be. I don't want to miss word right here, but we have always had a struggle going on. We will be great when all of these struggles are over, but they're not over, and we still have to work on them. And so what they're talking about is the time when the wealthy, when the top 1% of earners, they paid 70, 80, 90% marginal tax rate. And I don't see a problem with that. If you want to build a society that's worth a shit, or if you just want to build a society that everybody that has a yacht always has plenty of deckhands around or something, you know, it's I don't know. The degree of wealth that they feel that they need is just disgusting. Nobody wants to begrudge anybody a nice things in life. Everybody likes that. But if you're shitting on a golden commode, well, you're just shitting your money away, and you don't really care. And that's what's wrong. But that's just.
I'm just happy. I can't wait to live in my van. You know, I got a 3-bedroom house, but I was so happy living in my van.
Well, you know, I retired in 2001, in July of 2001, and I loaded my wife and my 2 boys and my 2 dogs and my 30-something-year-old parrot at that time into that RV, and we hit the road. And baby, I want you to know, I had the best time of my life. We went first, before we left Texas, we crisscrossed Texas all over the place, visited just about all the state parks we could, and then moved into Arkansas and Tennessee and moved up into Kentucky, Ohio. I mean, it wasn't just the places that we went, it was the people that we met along the way RVing. I really enjoyed that. You know.
I love campers, but I don't know what they're going to be like on the road now.
Well, you know, it'd probably be just fine, you know, unless you go out sparking up politics. Most people are just, you know, enjoying their day or whatever out there RVing. They didn't. But the subject does come up every once in a while. Hey, Richard Anderson, I see you out there, buddy. Glad you're there. I'm sorry I haven't been able to look at the chat. We've been talking so much. I haven't been able to see who's here, but I want to thank everybody for coming in. I like this shit of going live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time because that was one of the problems I had is trying to decide which one to go live on. Do I go live on Facebook or do I go live on YouTube? So I'm glad Travis fixed all that up for us.
Well done, Travis.
Yeah, thank you.
Good.
It took 5 minutes. I just wish I knew about it sooner.
Randy Kervin, right. They would still be rich and others could do much better like when they paid their fares. That's true, man. Because, well, you know, Randy, we have to dig all the way back, right back to Ronnie Reagan, baby. Ronnie Reagan is the one that instituted the Republican mantra. Trickle down economics. Just keep giving to the rich. And that's what they've done ever since then. It has been a continuous Republican in there trying to weasel some damn way of getting the rich people more money and convincing the poor people that that's what they need to do. And it's a bunch of bullshit. And it needs to be called out for just that. You know.
And they us against each other, saying it's the problem of the other guy.
Yeah, it's the other guy. It's not you.
Blame them.
Them. It's always going to be them. That's their way of politics. That's the only thing they have to sell is hate, division, and racism and crap like that. It's the only thing the Republicans have to offer. You know, the story in the news was just talking about the average tax refund this year is going to be 8% lower. 8% lower. How's that big tax cut working? It ain't working. It wasn't for you. It was for the rich people. It was for the rich corporations that have so many loopholes they don't pay taxes.
1.5 trillion.
And where does that come from? I'll tell you where it comes from. It comes from your pocket, baby. Everything the rich man has comes from your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what was it? I think it was, darn, sometimes I just can't remember names when I want to. Will Rogers, I think, once said that they had it backwards. That nowadays they just try to give the money to the rich man without the understanding that if they gave the money to the poor man, the rich man would have it in his pocket by the end of the day. Because a poor man, if he has money, he's going to spend it. He's got food. He wants to buy a car. He wants to buy a house. He wants to buy his wife a new present. If you give a poor man, if you give a working man money, he spends that money. And that drives the economy. And that money will end up in the rich man's pocket after all. But they have convinced the nation that the way to go is to give it to the wealthy man. And you just hang around and wait.
And when that poor man is able to send his children to school to get a better education, they will better the nation with their knowledge.
Isn't that the direction that we're supposed to be going in? To provide a better future for all of our children?
Used to be.
And it used to be the Republican mantra, the party of moral values and all that shit. They threw it out the window, baby. They don't have any interest in morality anymore. They threw that out especially when this guy came along. You know, I harp on it all the time. You threw your religion in the ditch. If you tell me you're a Christian, you support this man, you're lying about one of them. Yeah.
The devil's seed comes in many ways.
Yes.
With the Trump, we now have someone who is literally teaching or learning from Putin and the KGB.
Yes.
What did Putin do with, what was it, Latvia? He divided the people. He didn't bring them together. Trump is doing the same thing.
I like what Lee White here just said. Racism may be sewn in our fabric, but we could cut those loose strings when we see them peeping out. I like that, Lee White. Thank you very much, buddy. I
wish I could.
appreciate it.
How do you see that? How do you see that?
It's up here on the comments.
Yeah, it came from YouTube, I
It came
believe.
from YouTube, and he's right. We're not going to ever, I think, ever going to get rid of it. Maybe in another 2,000 years. You like to think. I always tell people, you're watching science fiction future movies when we're all getting around, together and from different worlds and different races and everything. We're not going to get there as long as there's assholes who feel like a man's color or his religion or his sexual preference or whatever it is that makes that person an individual. Oh well, we can't have that because you don't fall into my little checkbox here or some shit. It's sad, but it's going to be hard to get rid of that kind of shit.
Yeah. What happened to the United States of America?
Well, buddy, that's what we're fighting for in my book. That's exactly what we're fighting for. That's what I think this Blue Dot family is. This blue wave that Rove was up. It is that a nation's eyes are open to just how bad things can get, and just how many of our fellow Americans can be conned, fooled, lied to, and accept that man, knowing everything they know about him, and that's a pitiful statement,
And what?
Yeah. Then what? What are we gonna do?
What are we
What are we
gonna
going
do?
to do? We have to use what we're doing now. What we're doing now. We have to keep using your voice. You keep, as I like to put it, put that blue light out there, baby. Let somebody know. If you see somebody, this month, don't be racist around me. I'll call your shit out real quick, baby. That's the way it should be. It's what we teach our kids. It's what what kind of future do we want? And I don't want the kind of future that I hear some of these people espousing to. Are you shitting me? A white nation? Take that shit and shove it up your butt. Ain't nobody gonna have that. Nobody wants that. Except those deviants out there that just ate up with that shit.
We used to, my sisters and I, I mean, they were in the high school band. We grew up in a town, I visited friends in the projects and everything. And after a while, when, we just grew up with everybody. And I had a party once, and I introduced this guy to my sisters, and they said, "This is Ray. He's my black friend. And if Elaine could have made it, I would have had a Chinese friend here." So, and we laughed at people in Westchester County because they're all stuck up. We would just laugh at the stuck up people. This is my black friend. But that's the way people were.
I grew up around New Orleans, Louisiana, and my main influence in life, as far as like music, was always either R&B, soul, Motown. Motown had a big impact on my life. I loved it. In Louisiana, you could see the discrimination. You could see it all over the place. There was a place called the Curve Inn in Slidell, Louisiana, and it was a bar and a restaurant and thing. And they just didn't have very many black people that would even enter that place, even attempt to. Back in the '60s, and out there in the Ninth Ward, they still had the Klan out there. I mean, these were things I saw, and it breaks your heart. It broke my heart even then. I was influenced. The biggest words that ever impacted my life, I really have to say, well, two of them. John F. Kennedy, "Ask not what you can do for your country, ask what you can do for. Don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." And Martin Luther King Jr. to judge a man by the content of his character. Those two ideals have stuck with me all through my life, because what better, if you're a patriotic American, if you believe in the country and the values that we espouse and that we try to raise to, then that's it. You know, we should be willing to pay our taxes. It's a patriot. Nobody wants to pay taxes. I don't want to pay. No, you don't want to pay taxes. Nobody wants to pay taxes. But we all want streets. We all want schools, hospitals. That's the socialism that the Republicans are afraid of, I guess. I don't know. I guess they're going to have private hospitals, private schools. Everything else will be private that they can pay for, and they won't give a shit about anything else. And that's not the society we want. So.
I went out when I was much younger. After I got out of the service, I went to a concert to go see Rush. And they were playing But Still Day and a couple of other really great hits. And I was with a group of white fellas, my friends. But out of nowhere, through this concert, this guy comes up and he points his finger at me and calls me the N-word. And it's why are you approaching me this way? You know, and my friends defended me. That was cool. But that is what these people are like.
I was just reading one of the comments there, and it was, why should he have to be penalized for your happiness? The pursuit of happiness is afforded all of us. We can all pursue happiness, and why should he give a damn thing if why should he get off his couch? It's just a ridiculous statement, buddy. Or what do you say? Oh, I'm not going to give up a dime of my money to help nobody. Get your own. Yeah, that's the kind of attitude they have. I just read that comment. Pack it up your butt, buddy. Ain't nobody asking you for a dime. Ain't nobody coming over to your house asking you for your food or anything. What we're asking you is to pay your fair share to keep our society healthy. I ain't gonna give a dime for nothing. I kiss my butt. These assholes. Oh, I'm sorry. I just see a comment go by, but we got some trolls on YouTube, and they like to get in there and like this guy. Why should I have the pursuit of happiness? If you just don't want to be happy, don't pursue it. Well, kiss my ass. Everybody wants to be happy, buddy. Everybody wants to be happy. It's just how you achieve that. If you put roadblocks in the way of everybody except your little ass, well, it's just fine and dandy. But I don't know.
That Rawhide song keeps going through my mind now. Trolling, trolling, trolling.
Yeah. They got nothing better to do. Come up here with that kind of shit.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, most of the time, these are not even people who really.
Donnie didn't give a dime. That's how come he doesn't want you to see his taxes. You think Donnie's paid a damn thing into this country? You're a fool. He ain't paid shit. He didn't serve his country when he was called. He ain't paid his taxes. He could give a squat less about this country. All he wanted, baby, was the money. And you people elected him. You're fools. You're an idiot.
He probably owes more money than he makes.
He owes it to oligarchs in Russia. He owes it to people in Saudi Arabia. He's sold out this country for every dime he could get out of it. He's a slut is what he is.
He's a traitor.
That's exactly what he is. And these people are taking up for him. I just get tired of these right-wing idiots. One just a minute ago asked me right here in the comments, well, what do you think about late-term abortions, John? Like every woman in the world just is itching to go out and get you an abortion. You people are not pro-life, baby. You are pro-birth. You are pro-birth. After that child is born, you don't want to contribute to the pursuit of happiness. You don't want to put a dime out of your pocket for that kid. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, kid. Get your own bottle.
If they have a booth.
That's who they are.
And there isn't a man on earth who's going to tell me what I can and cannot do. Period. That's it. They have no idea.
One, I always say, when they start protesting Israel, because a lot of these abortion people, they are big Christians, baby. Look it up on the internet. Google the abortion rates in Israel. What the abortion laws are in Israel. Baby, you can get an abortion over there anytime you want. I don't see them protesting that, though. I also don't see the Westboro Baptist Church out there protesting Red Lobster or anything else in Leviticus. You know, it's just ridiculous. They pick and choose what their little thing is, and they are not pro-life. They are pro-birth, and that's it. And from the conversation I had the other night with a lady, it only counts if they're American babies. If there's some other baby, they could give a shit less about them, too. I'm sorry. People piss me off. That's what this lady said the other night. Y'all are more worried about illegal babies than you are American babies. Oh, but you're all pro-life. You want to talk about the sanctity of life and oh, how terrible an abortion is because, you know, every woman in the world just wants to go out and get one. You're a moron. Just want to play God.
Oh, as
That's
it
what you want
just
to do. You want
recently
to
said,
judge
I think
people.
I read it today about, yeah, I read today something about, they just want to, you know, these guys, they just want you to birth the baby so they can kill it. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. That ain't, you know.
How fucking stupid are you? Oh,
A
my
quarter
mouth
of
is
your
gotten
fields. That's what the
bad.
Bible says. Leave it for the poor. I don't want to help these people. I want to give my dime. I don't want to help nobody. That's what your Bible says to do. You're being an asshole.
There were protesters outside a clinic up in Dobbs Ferry where I used to live, and old men. I stopped the car once and I said, you want my baby? You can take care of my baby. Where do you live? I'll leave it on the porch."
My son had to take down the chat from the screen there, so I don't see it for a minute. He'll put it back up there. I had some trolls up there really pissed me off. I don't know, baby. We got a long fight to go, and that's the reason we do is because we have that 37% that he spoke about a minute ago, and there is nothing that you can do to convince them of anything. They are wrapped around this guy, and they love him for it. And the worse he gets, the more vile crap he puts out, the more stupid tweets he puts out, the more they love him for it. So we have a tough fight, but we have to remember they're 37%.
How did the SS start?
We are the rest. We are the majority, baby. We are the ones who's going to save this nation. It's not them. They're out to ruin it. They're out to build a wall, baby. You know, only for the brown people, though. You know, start building them at airports, seaports. You know. Anyway.
That's how they work.
I'm sorry. I drug it off into a dark. I got to read. You can put that back up again. I'll be fine. I won't pay attention to them.
They're us against each other.
That's what they try to do, and we have to keep working on convincing those that have conservative views that they've been led astray, baby. It's one thing to have conservative values and all that. That's great. That's fine. Live them, but they've been perverted. And they've been drugged somewhere through the mud, and it's not the Republican Party of years gone by. It's become the Trump Party.
The KGB.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we damn sure don't know what's been talked about in the last 6 meetings those two have had. No
Right.
American has. No American knows what those two have spoke about since he's been in our house.
Shady.
Yeah. You know, can
He's
you imagine Obama doing that? Can you imagine that?
Oh, he'd have been hung.
Oh, Lord. Firing squad, treason, everything else they would have thrown at him. And now when it's their boy, they're willing to forgive that stuff. I'm not. I'm concerned with what they talked about behind closed doors.
You know, this is going to be really random, but I got to say, Keith, that's a shame to hear about your story at a Rush concert. Normally, Rush fans are like the most legit, chill people ever. That's so unfortunate.
I know. I was taken aback, and my white friends had to kind of step in between us and say, "Step off."
Yeah.
Ago, years ago, but it happened.
No,
It
it's
sounds so sad that you're used to it. And that makes me sad that, oh well, I'm used to it.
Yes,
It
yes.
shouldn't be that
it
way.
shouldn't be that way. It should never be that way. Uh, I don't know what it is about respecting your fellow human that some people find hard to adapt to. And I believe it comes, it starts in the house. It starts in the home. It starts from your parents. I do believe that. If you're taught that stuff, you learn that stuff. You know, uh, it's.
Yeah,
I think it's nurture, not nature. You're not born a bigoted, hated. You're taught that stuff. And what
It
that
was
old boy
interesting
said: if you
because
can be taught to hate, you can be taught to love.
my mother left when I was 10, but my father brought up four little girls, and he wasn't fond of most people, and but he never pushed anything on us. And you know, I said, Daddy, you'll like my new husband. He's Cuban. You like Cubans, don't you? Yeah, I like Cubans. Yeah, they're hard workers. Because when they come and clean the building when he was guarding the Twinkies.
Jeez.
Well, I
He
joked
said,
about that coming back across the border one time over by Nuevo Laredo. My wife and I had gone over to Mexico to do some shopping. This is when we was very young, and I came back across the border, and they always ask you, where were you born, John? Or not John, they just, where were you born? Well, I was born in Cuba. I don't do that again. I just lie and tell them I was born in Corpus. It's easier than going through the hassle of pulling you off and saying, what do you mean? Where are you from? And all this bullshit. I was born in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, on the naval base down there, and but yeah, I like to throw that out there every once in a while.
well, what was interesting when my husband adopted his son when he was his first marriage, and from Chile. So he went to Chile, and he said coming back in the United States, his biggest mistake was speaking in Spanish.
Oh, now see,
What was that, what was it about?
I so regret not learning Spanish. I know a little bit. I can communicate. That's the best I can say. Uh, but I wish that I had taken the time to learn more when I was young. Uh, it's a beautiful language. And I can
I'm
get by with a lot of stuff, at work and stuff, when you're talking. Mucho trabajo,
I'm
baby, much work. You know,
I'm looking for a course that I can listen to on the way down because I want to travel along Texas and stuff. And I said, I really do because I run into so many Spanish speaking people and I'm like, you're so stupid. You worked in New York for 25 years. And
well, come
that
on
in
down,
German.
baby, because Texas is a beautiful state. A lot of people have, they consider it a red state. So, oh, there's everybody runs around with guns and everything. It's no, we're just as hospitable as anybody else that you'd run into and anywhere else in this country. Uh, you know, uh,
And then Travis can teach me how to learn how to work this shit.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would be
he's still
glad
trying
to.
to teach me. If we wouldn't be doing all this stuff if it wasn't for him. He's came in last night and he said, Dad, I think we can go live on all of them, uh, on
Like
all the platforms, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. And I didn't even know you could put a live broadcast out on Twitter. So,
I worked on big corporate systems and I'm burnt out. I'm going to be 67 in June and I'm burnt. I'm just brain fried.
I don't blame you.
yeah.
It's like, things get updated so often, even like Discord is becoming the more popular version of Skype, and it's coming at a time where only the younger people are really putting in the effort to learn. Some, I'm not going to say all, but, and I can understand why, because the way it's designed, it's like based on mobile platforms. You have to go around and start hitting things to make them happen. It's not going to specifically say, here, click this to call somebody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now I use Discord on when I record my shows on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I turn on the Discord, and as a matter of fact, Dennis Valadez, he's up here in San Antonio. I think he's listening to us tonight. And Sparky Dunk, he's out in California. And we just had another gentleman up in Texas, Perry, that was listening to us just the other day. And I like to be able to talk to them right before and especially right after I turn that camera off. Because sometimes, as people know, I can get worked into a pretty good rant. My heart rate's up, and it's kind of nice to have somebody right there when you turn that camera off, and I can just turn around and ask Dennis and them, well, how was that? Did it sound all right? And they can give me a little feedback and whatnot, and plus we get to sit there and talk a little bit. So I like Discord. It's a good little program. If you can download it anywhere, and if you're one of our Patreon members, it connects, right? I'm looking over at
So
Travis.
if you go to, I believe, the $1 a month tier.
$1 a month on Patreon will get you the Discord connection, I guess.
Yeah, you can join Discord now, but to get those features, you have to be a Patreon member.
Yeah. You can
And-
join Discord anytime, download the app and all that. Those that listen in during the live show, during my recorded rants, and they listen to it live, well, then they donate $1 a month to Patreon, which means a great large, baby, our hearts go out to every one of our Patreon members. We appreciate them so much. We do have some things that we want to do that we don't have the money for. We're going to need a mixer, right?
Yeah.
We
No,
need a mixer.
we're putting this production together the best we can with what we got.
We're
And
piecing this
it's-
together the best we can from the parts we have.
Duct tape is involved.
Yeah, duct tape and baling wire, baby. But we want to get a mixer, another microphone. Me and Travis are both talking on one mic right now, and it's a little bit more harder to feed into the unit, I guess. I don't know, but we need a mixer and another microphone, and more bandwidth on more broadband, more.
Really, the most important thing would be to get better internet.
Yeah, I have to upgrade my service, and that costs money. Just like everything else in this world, everything you do, it costs money. And so that's one of the things our Patreon, donors help us with is not only keeping the lights on, baby, but upgrading the system and everything like that. So we really appreciate it.
What kind of mixer?
I'm sorry?
What kind of mixer?
We're looking for something that at least has 4 XLR channels.
Yeah,
some...
because what I want to do is want to be able to have inputs for the microphones, but I also want a channel that we can, just like the big boys do I want to be able to pull up a sound bite. If Donnie says really something stupid, I want to be able to play it and then we can talk about it, just like they do on the news and stuff like that. But you have to have a separate channel, I guess, to get that sound bite into that computer that goes into this thing, that goes into that thing, everything else that Travis does, I don't know. But
Yeah, that's my department.
that's his department over there. We just had that discussion yesterday. I do the content. He does all the technical stuff out here, and I can't do this without him. So he knows very much how much I appreciate him doing this. So.
Well,
I'm so embarrassed I can still read a punch card.
Dear, we do go back, don't we? We got punch cards.
in there.
Get
I
it out
remember
of my
DOS,
head.
baby. I worked for the government. We used to have DOS, and it was murder. Are you shitting me? I hated the computer.
Well,
Now,
that's Gail.
nowadays, I got a brother. My brother, and he might be listening out there. I just told my brother out in Tennessee the other day that I wanted his daughter to go to the store and see if they could find a phone for him in the shape of an old rotary dial phone, because he would be more comfortable with a rotary dial phone. He just lost his phone, had to get another phone, and now he's just barely figured out how to answer the phone and dial. And I'm teasing you, Andy, but he does. It's like you got to drag him into the 21st century. He doesn't like technology.
I was a fan many years ago. Yeah, we're talking 20. I have an old mixer in the garage.
Oh.
I don't know if it will work for you guys, but I can send it your way.
That would be good. Like, to save you the trouble, if you can send us a photo of it, and we can take a look at it, see the features of it and all that. If it worked, we might take you up on that or exchange for something or?
Well, I tell people all the time, this show would not be possible without Michael Sean up in Chicago, Illinois, who is the person that donated the Mac Pro that Travis is working on right there that allows us to do everything. So that was a large donation by a single person that sent us that, because my iPad was screwing up and I couldn't get things done. And Michael reached out and sent us that, and I've been thankful for him ever since he did that. So Michael, if you're up there, buddy, I'm still thankful for that. And
still going strong.
Still growing strong, baby. 2 years over 2 years of doing this, and it's just now getting into this. I love this family we've grown, and I love the fact that it's worldwide. I like the fact that there's people all over the world that have an interest in their fellow man and their in seeing a more benevolent society around the world. And that's what I like to think that we're working towards, is a more benevolent society. It's what they teach in the Bible, baby. That's what I always, why Republicans are so against so many, why you want to build a wall. Even their Bible says, welcome the stranger as you were once a stranger. You just can't convince them it's in their own best interest. They're too busy hating people. And I like to wait for people to give me a reason to hate them before I start hating them. So, But anyway, I see we've run into about, an hour and a half here?
Yeah, we're at an hour, 15 minutes.
I guess we ought to start winding it down. Everybody's got something to do. But I want to improve on this. I want to make things better so we can get the video going in here, because y'all get to see each other. Now, see, y'all don't know that out there, that Keith and Deborah get to see each other. I don't get to see nobody. That's not fair at all. Y'all get to see me. I pretty, ain't that some shit. This beard is just getting, I mean to tell you, out of hand, baby. I'm really going to have to start putting a band in it at night again. I quit doing it for a while, but now every morning I wake up and it's like, Jesus, get this out of my face. And I got to watch it when I drink my coffee or eat soup. By the way, my wife made a big pot of corn chowder, which is the only recipe I brought into the family from my mother. And she made a wonderful pot yesterday, and it's real good. One of those Eastern. My mother's from Boston, baby. My mother's from up around that way, Deborah.
Yeah.
Yes. My mother was from Boston, and my father was from New Orleans. So.
Oh yeah, I got hammered in Boston.
I've been up there once. I loved it. I was probably about 17 years old when I went up there. Went to the Old North Church. I loved the cemetery there because I just got into reading the dates and the names on some of these tombstones, and it would just take you right back to, I've always been a history buff. I love history. And
when I moved over from the shore, the Long Island Sound over to the Hudson River, everything there is Dutch, and the old Dutch church is still there. From Sleepy Hollow, Headless Horseman, all that historic area. They still have a farm there where they do it the old way with a mill and all the guy showed us the different millstones, how they grain. And my brother-in-law and I were at the old church, and they still heat it with just the potbelly stove.
Ain't that
and we were finding old like 1700s, 1600s headstones in that. It was creepy. It's Creepy Hollow.
Creepy Hollow. Well, that's one thing I liked about the East Coast out there, is there's so much history. My wife and I went to Colonial Williamsburg. We thought that was neat. That was back in the early 80s, I think. And
we went there when we were kids.
Yeah, it was really interesting and neat to look back at our history and whatnot. But that's, the story of our country. It's so quaint to see like that. But as I always remind people that our history has been one continuous battle since the founding of this country for the rights of every one of us. In the founding documents that we have, that all men are created equal. That part.
I wanted to spend Christmas in Williamsburg in 2004. I made reservations. My husband said, "I don't want to go." And I said, "Good. Well, I'm going and I'm taking the dogs." So the dogs and I spent.
There you
Hey,
go.
Yeah.
I don't mess around. You're talking. You're messing with the wrong bitch.
Oh man,
I
I'm
took the
telling you.
dogs and we went there. Williamsburg at Christmas time was so cool. I saw all those ships in Jamestown, well, just all around the area. It was really nice.
I just see Karen Cormier chimed in, and she said she loves Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh my God,
I
yes.
did. I seen a picture of Karen Cormier and Donna Bonacosi, two of our Blue Dots. They have met up there, and I believe that's where they met. I think
It's
they
a
met
beautiful
up there by
town.
It's a beautiful little town. I
Very
saw the
beautiful
pictures.
town.
Jen Morgan, I appreciate you being here, darling. I know you stepped in to help with the keeping the trolls out. Jen is she steps in as moderator, and we appreciate that very much, darling. You said you were late, but that's okay, baby. Anytime you show up, we're glad to have you. So, anyway, see there, Leanne Scott even seen her jump in. Hey, Jen. There you go. That's what I like. I like to see the people down in the comments reaching out and talking to each other, and that's what I want to continue doing with this, and we want to improve upon it so we can get faces up here too. We had them the other day with Leo and Andy, but boy, howdy, they were ugly. So they probably broke my system is what it was. That's probably what it was. I need to send them a bill. Dane is pretty as me. Ah! Ugly as a mud fence, baby. That's what I am. But that's all right. I'll come out here every day of the week if I can motivate one person to stand up for the rights of all of us, and then it makes me a happy man. Anyway, y'all got any closing words tonight? Any words of wisdom you want to say hi to anybody or anything?
Hello, Blue Dot.
Hey, Keith, I got better color on my picture now.
Oh, look,
I was
at
looking-
bragging about they can see each other.
Yeah, I can see you. I can't see anyone else.
Oh, man.
What a gorgeous face.
Y'all donate to Patreon so I can upgrade my service so I can get everybody's picture in here. It is that I called my service one time to complain, and that's exactly what they tell me every time. Well, sir, you just need more bandwidth. Yeah. Well, so let's stretch this band out a little bit more because you keep dropping me. I'm lucky to have it, though. I live down in a valley on a river and out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm lucky to get a signal anyway. But if a bird flies by, baby, I'm liable to lose everything. So, anyway, I guess we'll wind it down. I want to thank both of you for coming on tonight and, sharing the show and saying hello to the rest of the family. We're going to continue to do this. If you want to get on this kind of thing, how do we do that? They
I don't know, that's
requested
up to
me.
you. I mean, like, you're the one who talks to everybody.
I know.
You just tell me what to do.
Send me a request on Skype, and we'll connect, and then we'll try to contact you right before the show, right before we go live, because we like to keep it where it's just conversation and that and whatnot. And we have our regulars that we're going to be bringing back: Leo Sahaki and Andy Paguda. Joe Riddle is going to join us this next Thursday. Joe talked to us on phone on our last show, but he didn't get a chance to pop in here, so I want to get Joe in here. He is the admin and he's the creator of the New News, and he split off from JBS, Blue Dot Family, and and then I tried to get Candy Guidry over here, but she didn't want to pop up today, so we're going to nail her in here too, and there's so many more I want to get to and talk to.
Really quick, a quick shout out to David Robertson for pledging $1 on Patreon.
Well, there you go, baby. Look at there, right there. Showed up. David Robertson, $1 in Patreon. That's what we're asking for. I'll try to give you as much entertainment as you can handle for $1 every month.
Yeah, we're hilarious.
I'm hilarious. There you go. I thought you was just going to say I was handsome. Isn't that what you meant?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's what you
that
meant.
too.
I'm sure it was. It just came out the other way. Ah!
The best ones are already married.
There you go, baby. Anyway, I want to thank both Keith and Deborah for showing up and enjoyed the conversation. And we're going to do it again. We're going to keep this up and keep this Blue Dot family moving, baby.
At least twice a week. We're gonna try.
Yeah, at least twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're going to go to this format. The rest of the time, I'll be down there in the shop, which means I got to load all this stuff back up, take it back down to my shop, hook it up down there tomorrow, and then we'll unhook it up and bring it back up here on Thursday. So, yeah, there's equipment we want to get, so we don't have to do that. But anyway.
Yeah, well, me and Keith are new to this today. We just did all this stuff today, and it's
Yeah,
like,
this
oh,
was a
this
spur of the moment
cool.
thing. I don't think either one of y'all had Skype, did you?
No,
No,
no. Last
Yeah.
night.
See, so everybody out there, that's how easy it is. Just go download Skype. Now, I think it was Randy the other day that said that Skype wanted $5. That's for the special service, or
Yeah, I don't know what the Skype Premium is. I've
yeah,
never heard
Skype
of
Premium
it, but
is
no,
not what
Skype
you need.
is free.
You just need regular old Skype, and request a contact with me, and you can do it in just a few minutes, and get on the show and talk like everybody else. So do that, and because I had to go hunt Keith and Deborah up today, because I thought I'd have a lot more, but there's others in there, but I want to get to everybody, baby. I want everybody to have the opportunity to
yeah,
say
it just
hello to the
happened.
rest of the family.
Did, and yeah, I just happened to see that you were on, so I went ding, and you answered, and I
You
was so
did.
happy.
You did, and I answered. That's right, baby. If you call me, I'm going to answer. Some of our Blue Dot
Oh my
family
God.
members have my phone number, and when they call me, I answer, baby. I keep
Okay.
telling them I'm nobody. I live at the end of the street down there. Ain't nobody going out my window out here gonna pay attention to me a bit, baby. So I'm very much in love with our Blue Dot family, baby. It's our reach out. So.
Yeah, pay attention to you, John.
Well, I appreciate it, Keith. Keith has been very kind to us over the. Keith's been with us a long time, and so has Deborah. Both of y'all have been with us a long time, so I'm just tickled to death with that. Yeah.
For a while.
For a while, baby. Well, that's what family is. You're stuck with us, baby. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family. You can't
Or-
pick-
Yeah, you
pick
can pick your nose, you can pick your friends, but you can't
pick your
friends'
family.
nose.
That's something
Or-
like that.
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi, Keith, buddy, and Semper Fortis. For those of you who don't know, tell them what Semper Fi is there, Keith. That's the Marine Corps motto, baby. Always faithful.
Yep.
Uh-oh, hang on. We're dipping down in the red. 1 second.
And the Navy motto is Semper Fortis, not for self, but for country, baby. We take that stuff to heart, those of us that have served. So keep that in your mind, that we love our country, and we're willing to fight for
Okay,
it. So
salute.
there you go, baby. Big salute.
Well, I think we're falling asleep here looking at each other's pretty faces.
We'll have to call it a night. Keith, Deborah, thank y'all very much for coming into the chat and making the show with me. It made the evening go by so fast. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, and it's a good way to keep in touch on my I'm gonna leave in April. I just have to get these doctors to say, okay.
Stay away from them doctors.
Well, I
Get
gotta
healthy,
be able
baby.
to. It's like, who's gonna put the beer cooler in and out of the van? Seriously.
Yeah. Get healthy, baby. Get healthy. We want you to hit the road healthy. Keith, take
Yep.
care of yourself, buddy.
Everybody, keep fighting a good fight.
That's it, baby. All right.
Okay.
Well,
No,
we're going to call it an evening. Like I always say, like, share, and subscribe. John Bernaville, Blue Dot in Texas on YouTube. John Bernaville on Facebook. John Bernaville Speaks, Blue Dot Family. Go by there and join the family and get in the conversation. And be a member of this stuff. Be a voice. And on Twitter, at Blue Dot in Texas. Anywhere else I can get this message out. We love all y'all for tuning in and adding your conversations. We appreciate our people on Patreon and those that donate on PayPal and whatnot. So that's it, huh?
Yep.
I like this shit. We're gonna keep this shit going. Y'all have a good night.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Have a nice